So, welcome to Podcast versus Player Trailer Chat. We have got some more things to look at, Daniel, in the form of Fallout, released same day, 12th of April, 2024. Will be episode 1 on Amazon Prime Video. This is obviously based on Fallout by Bethesda, everybody's favorite. Now, Dan, before we play anything, you've been waiting for this for quite a long time.
I have, mate. I really have. And listeners of the podcast will know that I've been banging on about this fucking show, speculating on what it could be, the general lore. I've had a real resurgence of just interest in Fallout generally in the last sort of year or so. I've always loved the franchise, but I've just gotten really sort of like into the nitty-gritty of it all. And just the universe itself fascinates me. So when you sent me this the other day and you were like, this is out and no one's talking about it, I think it's because you found it and sent it to me within an hour or so of it coming out. Yeah. I just don't think it had that kind of time to pick up yet. But I'm only seeing positive things about this so far. Like, people just sort of like, or if anything, it's people just sort of like, oh God, please don't suck. Like, they're looking at this and going, okay, this looks good. Make sure it is, please. Like, don't ruin this.
Well, I can take this the same way that we did the Batman v Superman trailer, where we went, even if the film's shit, that was a fucking sweet trailer.
Well, if it's not very good, I can just go and play some more Fallout. So
exactly.
It's not the end of the world. Also, just so you're aware, because this is setting, or at least our protagonist, as far as we can assume from this trailer, is from Vault 33. I think it's from like mid-December. There's a Vault 33 Vault suit that you can now get in Fallout 76.
There you go.
So
if nothing's going to make you play it,
right? I mean, it's at least it shows that Bethesda is sort of like, we recognise that this is a thing that people care about and they want to be excited about. So there will be feeding. Obviously there's going to be references to the wider games and stuff in this. Makes sense that it's going to go both ways.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, like, just in terms of, we have briefly talked about this off like, not recording, but it seems like it's being handled very well, and a lot of thought and attention has got into it, from the way the set looks, the way the costumes look, the way the characters look.
Indeed.
It's got that dark Fallout humor. It's got Amazon's money.
Yeah.
So we'll hit play. We'll do the same as Kong.
We were looking at stop. So we were looking at the Variety, was it, or Vanity? Was it Vanity Fair that got
Vanity Fair, I believe.
They got like it was like 9 press shots, and yes. We were going through this on the last podcast, I think, where we kind of just like going into it in a bit more detail.
Yeah.
Firstly, the scanners next to the vault door. They're identical to the scanners that are in every fucking vault, which again, I know it's things like, and I'm going to stop you 1,000 times during this, but it's things like that where you don't need to have that there to get the imposing sense of that door. Like, the fact that even just like the scanners are there is just another testament to they've gone, every single element that we can try and duplicate, we'll try and do our best. Yeah. And then you get to the door itself, which is got like the sort of like 3 bolts on the sides. I haven't, or at least from memory, I don't remember seeing a vault door that looks like that. Most of them usually got like a big thing that like sticks into it and then like unscrews it and then like pulls it out and drags it away. This looks like a very advanced kind of vault door, if I'm honest.
Well, it looks like it's got pistons and that, and it looks like it put where these orange circles are. Each of those has got like a white arm, so it looks like it pulls them out, and then it like kind of
it'll twist inwards and it'll unlock everything. I from memory at least, I don't remember seeing a similar kind of vault mechanism. Not to say that they all have to be the same, of course.
No, but it's an interesting aesthetic and it's clean. So
everything's very clean.
Yeah.
Very clean. I mean, look at like she's got a little backpack on. Like, she looks like she's off camping.
I mean, they do say on the trailer about it, like no one's gone outside of the vault.
Yeah.
So it's whatever vault this is in whatever time period it's in. I'm still going with the pre-3.
Yeah.
Fallout 3, that is. And these guys haven't had to deal with anything bad, and she's going to be a very preppy, happy-go-lucky little scamp.
Yeah, but is that for a particular reason? Though, like, why is she going to be leaving the vault? I mean, I suppose that will be literally episode 1 when it'll be. I mean, like in most of them, it's like there's a disaster in the vault. You know, you need to go out and find a thing to fix the vault to get everyone, to save everyone's life or whatever. So the fact that she's got gear doesn't suggest that she's been, like, there's no security there or anything, so it doesn't look like she's been exiled necessarily. It looks like she's determined to go on a mission. So, like, she's got her mate to be like, look, get me the door open, I need to go out and find proof of this, or I need to find this piece of equipment that will turn the water reclamator back on. Whatever it is, it looks like that this is at least prepared for. She hasn't just been booted out.
Well, there's 2 people there. I only noticed the one person.
Well, there's the dude on the left, but those are the controls on the left, so he's presumably opening the door.
Yeah.
But anyway, carry on.
Yeah, let's shoot forward a little bit.
Yeah, see, he's got the console there. So there's your classic Fallout moment coming out your vault. Look how clean she looks. It's crazy, isn't it? But she has got a busted lip. So this is something that we picked up on the photographs that she'd been punched in the face. From later on in the trailer, everyone in the vault is going bananas, which means potentially, like, it. Maybe she's, she's noticed that, like, what's the vault tech thing that's gone on in this vault, right? Have they poisoned the water? Have they been pumping subliminal messages in through the sound system? Have they been gassing them all, like, to make them all aggressive or whatever? I reckon that she's been, like, smacked in the mouth from someone that she wasn't expecting. And she's like, there's something that's going on here. I need to fix the water. I need to fix the air. I need to do something. That's why she's ventured out.
Makes
and
sense.
Then, while she has, everyone goes fucking ballistic and kills each other. But also, go back. There is an unconscious dude on the floor there.
I literally was about to say that.
Next to but that's on the outside of the vault, though, isn't it? Because that's
no, that's inside.
But that console there, that's the one to open the vault door, usually. The yellow one. Usually you plug your Pip-Boy into that, and then you press the button and it opens the vault door.
Is he still there on that one when she goes to step outside? So where's the... God, that's a big bloody fade out.
I think it's time to the music as well, all the sounds that are going on.
So if we...
He's not there.
He's not there on that one. Because it's this console in front of the other guy. By the look of it.
I don't know, it's difficult to see, but it looks like... Because if you play it on until...
this bit.
But you'll see from this yellow one here, when you're looking at her... Still, those 2 dudes are still over there.
So maybe they are her friends. This guy was like, "No, you're not going out." That's
maybe
he
punched her or something, trying to. Yeah, maybe you're right.
And then her friends help open the door up. But there's 3 of them now.
Oh, there is 3 of them now.
Yeah. And 1 unconscious person.
Maybe it's the overseer, or like it'll be. You know what it'll be like? It's that one person who tried to talk her out of it, and they go back and go, fine. That looks like it's what's his face, Purnell.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Chris
Parnell. That looks like it's him. That looks kind of like it's
got
his
the same
side
kind of hair.
That side profile kind of looks like him.
So he's legs for the guy or girl.
What?
The one who's knocked out.
They're still there. Yeah. But I think that, like, the overseers, they're like to be like, don't,
yeah,
don't go out, and then he's sort of like, oh, fair enough. I love that already. She's like, was this a terrible idea? Like,
what the fuck? That's a nice shot, though.
Right. I mean, most of this is kind of great, like cinematography wise, like the just how. I mean, look at so in like Fallout 76, like 76 Vault is like on the side of a cliff face or whatever it is. So like it's quite open and easy to get to, where most of them are sort of like they're just holes in the ground or in a cave or whatever. Yeah, this looks like another one of these ones where it's like a show vault almost. You know, it's like it's easy to see. You'll never not see it, will you?
Yeah, I mean, it's there. I mean, obviously, we don't know where it is location-wise, but just going back to what we were saying about cinematography stuff, we've said it before, and we'll no doubt say it again after this, but even a bad Amazon show looks tremendous.
Yeah, they look great.
The very visually pleasing shows and movies. But obviously you can tell, even just from the fact that she's obviously got a good not necessarily a good feeling, but I'm going out this vault regardless.
Yeah.
And then the second she steps out, the first thing she sees is a skull.
Yeah, like bones just on the floor. So, but this is like typical of Fallout. Like you go outside of a vault and there's just bones everywhere because it's people trying to scrabble to get into a vault.
Very, very good shot.
So she's like, oh God. Also, shout out to having John Nolan from Westworld involved in this. Brilliant. Love Westworld.
I believe the lead girl in this is also she had ties with Westworld.
Oh, no way.
I believe. I could be wrong on that.
It's an excellent show anyway. So again, something like that. Right, so pause that. Right, so that shot there, that big Ferris wheel. Now I recognise that from Grand Theft Auto 5, but GTA
I can't
5.
Believe it's in. What was the city in?
It's LA, right?
No. The name in GTA.
Oh,
because you've got Los Santos.
Yeah, which is it's LA. So either is this just establishing shots of just like national landmarks or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that further on in the trailer, the same observatory that's in LA is also in this, which again is in GTA 5, which is why I recognised it. So this all could be shot in. It could all be set in Los Angeles.
Fallout 3 is LA, isn't it?
That's Washington.
Is it?
Oh, was it Boston?
Honestly, can't remember.
Yeah, it's Boston. Yeah.
Where have I got LA from?
You think in Las Vegas? Because
Oh, I might be thinking of a mod. Fallout New California. Anyway, regardless. I can't see any buildings. It's all the same colour.
But if this is LA, it would have been like a big population centre, wouldn't it? It's a coastal city, so that would have been nuked, like directly, I reckon.
I suppose, yeah.
That would be all that would be left, I reckon.
Would that Ferris wheel stay if a skyscraper didn't?
I mean, it's on like a sort of, it's on 4 legs. I mean, I'd imagine that the only reason it's in this shot is because it will help you recognise where it is. I mean, I'm guessing purely off GTA. That's not to say that this is LA at all. There could be a bunch of them with piers and Ferris wheels or whatever, but...
And if you squint as well, you can see Michael and Trevor.
Yeah, causing all sorts of problems.
There you go. What are these?
Well, that's a burnt-out car. They're just pillars, like foundation pillars. It's like this is probably the basement of some giant skyscraper or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like they're just using it for... I don't know. Not even shelter, maybe just shade, I guess. Something to hide behind from raiders.
Oh, no, I think she's just walking through it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that.
So, there we go. We get a rad roach. So, it's one of these things, right, that very... very early on, when we saw I was just like, oh, how much are they going to pull from the games into the? I know it's based on a game, but historically that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to recognise it as being such.
Means nothing.
But even if you'd have just shown me this trailer from when she's walking through that building, as soon as that thing crawled through the window, I'd have been like, is that fucking rad roach? Also, how good does that rad roach look?
Looks real good.
Looks real good, right?
Considering how bad that baby orangutan thing looks. But yeah, it looks very good. Can't really see anything else on this shot, to be honest.
No. First kill,
I know,
maybe? Like a rad roach. That's typically what you end up fighting mole rats and rad roaches to get a hang of the... See, this, I love that. She shits her pants immediately because a fucking tumbleweed blew past. Because, again, this speaks to she's never been outside the vault. She had no idea what that thing is. Yeah. And she goes straight for the gun because she, I love that as well. Just That's a C.
Sharp.
That's just gone.
That's the beauty of something like Fallout as well. When it comes to like location stuff, they've clearly just gone to a beach and put stuff in the sand. But like it's a cheap way of doing it. I mean, they may not have done it. A lot of it might be green screen, but it's an easy way to just give the viewer the sense of like just desolate fuck all.
Yeah, it's absolute scope of just terribleness.
Look how tiny she is.
Yeah, that would be a big cargo ship or something.
Yeah. This is my favourite bit of the trailer. No, it's not. It hasn't come up yet. Now, how do you feel about dog meat, Dan?
Kind of essential.
We know it's going to be.
It's not going to be dog meat. I mean, they could very well call him dog meat, but it is not going to be dog meat from any of the games. It'll just be...
Do you think German Shepherds were just the only ones that survived?
I mean, they're very intelligent dogs. And they're strong as well. You know, it'll be big dogs that would survive. But I think this is purely just people like having a canine companion. Like, they like having a German Shepherd companion in the game, so she'll get her own. Or maybe other characters will have their own version. But her talking to that dude as well, he doesn't seem like a bad guy to me. It looks like she's just sort of stumbled across his camp. The dog's trapped her or whatever, and he's sort of sat her down and gone like, yeah, you don't really belong out here. Like, you look really underprepared. And then she's seen like a dog eating a rad roach, and she's like, what is this? Yeah. I think that's like a cautionary tale. Like, that'll be like maybe even the first person that she meets out there, and she'll be like, I don't understand the world. And he's like, I'll clue you in. I'll be nice. Maybe then he'll try and kill her or rape her or whatever, because it's Fallout and everyone's awful.
Well, I mean, there is that, but it could also be the case of like he does help her, but in doing so ends up getting himself killed. And
maybe so, or he's just buying time for his raider mates to turn up.
Could be.
Maybe she got the drop on him to a degree.
I don't like. I mean, they may not refer to him in as such in name, but I don't like the idea of dog meat being part of like the bad.
But that's not unusual though. They have most of the raiders and super mutants have mutant hands, obviously, but most of the raiders have dogs. That's where you get most of your dog armor from, is from killing enemy dogs.
Yeah. I don't know. I just got a feeling that this is her.
This is going to be her dog companion, 100%. Yeah.
Especially when you see there's a shot later on where he's just like holding a
hand,
a severed hand, and it's like it's 100% dog meat. But again, she's not like tied up or anything.
But no Pip-Boy.
That's actually a very good shout. Now she does. We've seen it in the promotional shot. She does have one.
Unless, because I did. This is something that we mentioned on the podcast as well. They seem less cumbersome than the usual Pip-Boys, like these gigantic machines on there. They seem a lot more ergonomic. It could just be the shot, but potentially she could have it on her right arm, but it doesn't look like it is.
No, like if you look at her both left and right, they look exactly the same.
I don't know. The one on the right looks a little bit chunky, but play on. Yeah, we might see something. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. And fast delivery. Incredible.
Now, the trailer we watched the other day,
it said 2-day delivery.
2-day delivery, yeah.
Maybe they've gone, oh, shit, we can't promise that to a lot of people, so just put fast delivery.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, so we get some vertebrates that, again, they look in almost pristine condition. And quality-wise, they look great.
Yeah.
But I reckon this is some sort of like Brotherhood of Steel, like main training camp or something like that. Because
I was going to say.
Go on.
No. I mean, I agree.
Yeah. But I think this is like a base of operations or something like that that they're launching from. But I think that the dude that we see inside this vertibird, I think that's going to be our main Brotherhood of Steel guy.
I think he's going to be our. Oh God, what was his name? John Boyega from. What was his name? Finn. He's going to be our Finn.
Maybe so, but it depends because like the Brotherhood of Steel aren't necessarily bad guys.
Oh no! I just mean like in
they'll
those
cross each
trilogies.
Other's paths and then
so she's the Fallout Ray. He's going to be the Finn, and these are going to be your main people going through the show, I reckon. But just on what we're on about with the trading thing, these buildings are very like army barracks.
Oh, very much
style.
so, yeah. Yep.
So I think
Well,
that's
didn't the Brotherhood of
100%
Steel,
what
I'm
it
pretty
is.
sure that they came from like the remnants of the army. That this is what they turned into.
Probably.
So this is like an old military base, probably.
Mm.
But it's like runways and stuff like that, which makes me think that this is a big operation base.
Was that? I know it's not really relevant. There. That's solar panels.
Where are you looking?
So in between what we can see, so you've got the landed vehicle, and there's a house right in front of it to the left of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of solar panels. That's all I was saying.
Where, in the
But
shadow?
No, straight ahead. You can see it blue.
Oh, no, so not to the left, to the right then, you mean?
Of the house. Well, yeah, our left, as we're looking at it.
Right, okay. Potentially, yeah. I mean, solar panels, there's no reason why they wouldn't work.
No, they would. I just don't remember seeing any in Fallout.
Maybe because it's, I don't know, because it's all based around like fusion, isn't it? So like, why would they need to look at renewable, like solar power, if they could just have a nuclear battery that will charge and do everything?
Yeah.
Because like they've got generators and stuff like that, so I suppose if it's military tech, maybe that they've just got something like solar panels,
Maybe.
air panels.
Might not even be that. It might be something else.
Maybe not, but they're in the desert, so it makes sense. So I reckon this is like that's your scribe or your initiate or whatever, and then he's going out with a paladin. So do you reckon that's like where she first meets him, and he's just got a hand in his arm, in his mouth?
His arm. That is a mutant dog.
Yeah. Or like this is like he's helped to sort some people out.
I reckon this is after she's left that guy.
Yeah.
Alive or dead, we don't know.
It's Fallout. Assume he's dead. Either killed by her. Maybe that's it. Like maybe he takes her and he's like, "Oh, I'll give you some food and water, and I'll fill you in on the situation." And then he's like, "But I am going to kill you and eat you."
Like David from The Last of Us.
Yeah, he's sort of like he's a bad guy, but he's somewhat nice about it.
I haven't eaten anyone for days.
Yeah, like that's deserved to be. I mean, in Fallout, that's pretty good. But then she has to kill him, and then takes the dog or something like that. So he's helping her out now, or that's his dinner. I don't know.
I mean, it could be as simple as like he does try to kill her. Dog meat helps kill him because he likes her or something. And then that's either his old owner. Or maybe raiders, bandits kind of thing.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And he's helped her out. Or it's none of those things, and it's just a random dog. But it's definitely in a different place. Like looking at the background, I know it's nighttime. We saw it before, but it does look to be a slightly different place.
But it looks, again, this is something that we mentioned on the press shots we looked at. It's all very green still, apart from this part with the desert. But if they're coming from the desert to wherever this is, there's a lot of grass and stuff like that around.
Very happy boy, though, isn't he?
That's a really good looking hand, though, isn't it?
It looks very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So this is one of the shots we got from Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
As well. And again, as we pointed out on there, the armor's very shiny and new.
Mm.
Not new, but not as worn as we the players get.
Yeah.
Let's go forward a little bit more.
Oh, I love that jukebox as well. Because that's the same jukebox that's in... It looks exactly the same as the ones that's in all the games.
Mm.
But it's still a very new-looking jukebox, isn't it?
It also seems to be outside.
Yeah, it's in like a farm or something.
Yeah.
But again, that's for... There'll just be someone who's set up a stage in the middle of a fucking town square somewhere.
If you look in the left-hand side of, like, our left, they look like fairy lights in the reflection. Kind of like maybe it's like an outside.
Yeah, you could be right. Yeah.
Not a big fan of the blood.
Why?
No, I'm fine with it being on it. I just don't think it looks realistic.
Oh, well, to be fair, again, most of this could be like CG enhanced or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I clicked off the wrong thing. And I don't remember that shot coming back in it again. I think it's literally the jukebox. I mean, I don't remember seeing this bit again in the trailer.
No, it's.
I could be wrong.
I think this is just again, it's something to cue up the music.
Yeah.
But then just again to sort of like reiterate that everyone's going to get killed, and then this is the part that I was on about where everyone in the vault just seems to go absolutely fucking bananas. Yeah. But I like the fact that like even the crops, like that's how I build like the crops in Fallout 4. Like inside that, like even the walls and stuff like that, the structure of like the wall struts, it's all the same. But then you've got to plant your corn, and presumably those are mute fruit trees behind the corn.
Yeah.
And that tractor again, never seen a working vehicle in any of the Fallouts.
I mean, it makes sense because obviously you see cars and stuff littered about all over the place, so they was a thing.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. In this vault, it seems like it's still like kind of a newish kind of vehicle. Yeah. It doesn't look like it's been repaired a million times.
Everything still seems to be intact.
Yeah.
Now we speculated on the podcast this is potentially the start of Megaton.
Potentially.
And seeing it in like live action rather than just the still that we saw, I'm more convinced that it is.
But Megaton is still outside of
it is.
Wherever Fallout 3 is set.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that wasn't LA. So either she's crossed the country to get to... I love that as well. Just some random dude in his pants.
This is the shot that makes me think. But now I've seen... Because this is obviously in the desert-y bit, so I think I am a bit off the market. But just the way everything's built up.
Yeah, but I imagine that most of those cities kind of... That's how they get... Like, that's how they grow, because they can't really grow outwards. Because it means that you'd have to take your walls down and then whatever. You'd have to build upwards. But it's also indicative of a lot of Fallout architecture. It's multiple levels all sort of squished together and just propped up and crates on top of crates, and that's a building now.
Good shot, that is. Mr. Goggins.
Cracking on.
Blammo!
Bang! Shoots him. Completely dead, that guy. Definitely dead. I mean, he takes a wind up at that shot, though.
Yeah.
Like, look how high his hand goes before he aims.
He knows what he's doing.
Watch him.
Conk.
Bang.
I mean, yeah, there's no getting around that. But that blood looks excellent.
It does, but that's in a barber shop by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks to be. Because you got your apron thing on the...
Yeah, so this is just like a random little shop in town, maybe. So maybe bandits attack, and he's fighting them off. She jumps in to help, sort of thing.
There's something wrote on that...
Written.
Sorry, there's something written on that thing, but I can't quite make it out.
Which way are you looking?
So this white thing with the shelves on the on our right-hand side...
Yeah.
Said there's something wrote on
Oh, yeah, it says
glass.
dandruff.
But what's the first bit? Because there's two words.
So, Wilcox? Wild dandruff?
Could be the name of
I think it says Wild Dandruff.
Maybe that's the gang name. The Wild Dandruffs.
Or maybe that's just what the fella who runs the barber's called.
Could be.
Again, it's Fallout. This could be what they're selling. I don't know. Right, so here's Chris. Now, this is interesting. They went with the Cyclop.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest, Callum, I don't remember ever seeing a Cyclop before, but I could be very wrong there.
Maybe it's like a super mutant, but I don't remember seeing an Overseer with one eye.
But that would mean that he's been mutated, presumably.
Yeah. Or maybe he's human, and he was just born like that.
No.
Unlikely.
In the Fallout universe, if you've got one eye, if you've got 6 eyes, you're a mutant, and it's because of radiation or whatever.
Yeah. Which would indicate that this is a good bit after the war.
It must be, because that means otherwise he would have been born with one eye and then put into a vault.
Or maybe his mum
was a mutant.
Yeah.
Maybe. But he's clearly the overseer, though. That's the overseer's office with the big window that overlooks the vault. They always look like that.
Yeah. Definitely it. I'm pretty sure it's on the casting as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, that means we're not going to see him very much because, again, if he's a Cyclop, you can't have a Cyclop be your main character because that is going to cost a fortune to have him be a Cyclop forever.
It's stands to reason that we will have a lot of jump backs. So she's
got 2 eyebrows.
I'm not sure.
I think he's got 2 eyebrows and 1 eye.
I would assume it's a monobrow, and then to give the illusion of 2 eyes, maybe.
Maybe
he split it in the middle. I don't know. It could just be how the light is on it.
Yeah.
But I would assume we've got a name like Chris Parnell. It's going to go jump back and forth a bit. So every now and again, it's going to check back in with the Vault and with her friends with the Overseer.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that as soon as the Vault starts to tear itself apart, that's what's going to be her cue to get the fuck out of there. Or it's going to happen.
To be before all of that.
This does, yeah, because like her hair's down.
Before she's left, yeah.
I reckon this is her going to him saying like, I think the water's poisoned and we're all about to murder each other brutally. And he's like, absolutely not. Of course not. I'd be a Cyclops that'd be a liar. And absolutely not. That's not who I am. I'm Chris Parnell. Remember it? I'm Jerry from Rick and Morty. That's me.
I love how he's Jerry from that and not Thingy from Archer.
Yeah, or the lawyer from Brooklyn Nine-Nine or whatever. I'm the Cyclops from Fallout now.
It looks good, though. It looks very weird, but it looks good.
I mean, sure. It does look odd, but I don't know. Again, it's not a real thing, so it's difficult to say, oh, it doesn't look as good as a real Cyclops.
No, I mean, it's impressive that they've managed to get this bit done.
I don't know why they've done that, though. I don't know if there are any...
It's funny, I guess.
It is funny, I'll give him that. If it's just a case of he's just a silly boy with a 1 eye, and he's just a goof, and he's only been given the role of being Overseer because he's an idiot, maybe that's it. Like, everyone's sick of him being an absolute idiot, and they decide to mutiny against him. It's Fallout. It could literally be anything.
Yeah. I mean, I've literally just Googled it. Nobody's ever seen an Overseer Cyclops.
Okay, fine. That's
so
fine.
It's not just us.
No, that's okay.
I don't want to go through this bit and then someone's like, well, I think you'll find actually in Fallout 2, blah, 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 blah.
In the artbook.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he just spit that bit out. If I remember rightly, the line was about it being mold. Yeah. Which is a bit odd in this day and age.
Look at that pit boy.
He's got a big fat pit boy on there.
Look at it. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? It doesn't look like... It looks almost like it's been custom made. Right, stop there. Right.
I knew you were going to pause on this.
I love this.
Please remain calm.
Because it's also... But it's also... That's exactly what a heavy turret looks like. Like, that's what you build, like, in Fallout 4 and in 76 or whatever, is like your defences. It's that.
That's the beauty of making a show like this in a day like today where... I mean, obviously Todd Howard's been very, very, very heavily involved in this, but we live in a time where you can go 3D print me one of those, and they can make it in hours.
Yeah,
and it's done. Whereas back in the day, if they made this like 10 years ago, you have people paper macheing and like cutting metal out and everything. It looks so good, like visually. Like you say, even if it's shit, the tone of it and the set design and the props and everything else looks amazing.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not good.
Although I have never seen a screen in Fallout that says please remain calm. And that is not the font that's usually... Because that's massive. It's usually just like small green writing.
I think.
And also, to be fair, those turrets usually don't have a screen attached to them. They're just set up.
Again, but these could be earlier iterations of them, and then they found out maybe I don't know.
Either way, that's the detail I really don't. I'm not too fussed about. Like,
no, it's fine. It's funny
still
addition.
Funny. Yeah.
That's what it's there for, more than anything else.
Yeah.
But
there's the dog. So who
is that?
Is that? Because that looks like it's outside a base or something. Because there's like a That's a jeep or stuff. Well, no, there's like a jeep or something like below that structure.
It doesn't help that they're hunched over Obviously,
Probably that's a very good reason why they've done that, so you can't tell who it is.
Well, there'll be that as well, and they're being shot at. So.
Well, yeah.
But I can't tell from... They're not her legs.
No, that's a scientist, dude. That's like a Vault-Tec scientist or something like that. I reckon that's like a Vault-Tec scientist on the run. And like he's like, oh, he can't take the... Because I think he's got something in his hands, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, again, you can't really...
Yeah, just go back a sec. I think he had like a case or something.
Yeah,
he's got he's got a bag. So that would be like, oh, I've a Vault-Tec scientist. I don't want to do Vault-Tec stuff anymore. I'm stealing these secrets to save a vault, and then they're all trying to kill him for being a prat.
I reckon that's where dog meat comes from. This scientist guy dies and he's out fending on his own.
But that could be the prequel story for the guy who she meets. She could be like, he could be like, yeah, I work for Vault-Tec, and I wanted to stop.
Yeah.
You know, I found out all the evil shit they were doing, and I wanted to stop it, and they tried to kill me for it. And he runs off, and then bang, bombs or something.
That's a very good shout, Dan.
Oh, look at that, Mr. Handy. Look at it.
I'll be honest. This particular shot just looks like it's from Fallout 4.
Right.
Everything about this shot,
with the ridiculous advert in the background as well.
Dairy fresh ice cream.
Yeah, but is this a doctor handy maybe, or a nurse handy?
I would assume it's a doctor one, and this looks to be our.
It does look like it's her, doesn't it? So if she's been fucked up, and then she's been taken in by a community, and they've got a Mr. Handy that's doing medical stuff. Maybe
that's her hand the dog meat's got, and she gets Kong's mecha gut. That's such a good looking Handy, though.
Yeah, I want to see some of those zipping around and doing. Hopefully, they get the same guy who's voiced all the Mr. Handys so far.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, good day, madam.
Not I mean better than that, but yeah. I think this is the only time we see one though.
In this trailer, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
pretty sure. To be fair, they did this for the Fallout 4 advertising where they had a Mr. Handy in a kitchen doing stuff. Like if they could do it 10 years ago or whatever, they can do it even better now, and that looks great.
Where do you think they are? Do you think they're in a hospital?
No, I think it's like a train station or something.
Yeah. Can't really tell from the...
Well, there wouldn't be an ice cream advert in the middle of a fucking hospital.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah. Who's this fella?
So that's obviously not the overseer. I'm saying that that's a family member. Like, locking the door. Like, everyone's gone ballistic, and he's like, no, you need to save yourself. Lock the door.
Maybe, yeah.
That sort of a deal.
You're good at this, Dan.
I could be completely wrong.
Nah, it makes sense. That's why she's going. The family's dead. So, what's the fucking point?
But then why would the other people stay? I think, we can't leave, or we don't want to go, or whatever. We'd rather die in here than go out there.
Yeah, and realistically, you're probably better off. But you have this all the time where we, the viewer, go, well, why? Just fucking go. Stop being stupid. But it doesn't make sense. Like
in the Fallout universe.
Yeah. You need your lone character to venture off, and then I'll come back with supplies and a cure for this or whatever, and then they do eventually go back and everyone's dead.
Yeah.
It's got to happen. So what's cracking off here?
So presumably there was a big cool hero shot with like Brotherhood of Steel Knights.
Yeah.
Mounting up, and they're all in their cool power armor, and then they were going to do a thing, and then they've just been obliterated. Like they've just been. This is like a Black Hawk Down kind of deal. Like,
do you think this is after the shot we see where they're all walking together?
Oh, 100%. I reckon this is them going to this. So he's like, oh my god, these knights, they're so cool. Look at this power armor, it's amazing. Like they're like these incredible, indestructible heroes or whatever. And then as soon as they go into action, like a raider hits them with a rocket, or they anything happens, they get obliterated out of the sky, and they just they go to water, and they just can't seem to just patch it back together again. Like there's one just on the floor. How the fuck's he getting back up again?
I mean, he ain't gonna help him, and this other one's already on his way forward.
Yeah, he's like, nah, fuck that, charge.
Because it's the same people that made The Boys. Where, spoilers for The Boys, season 1, episode 1. when Huey's girlfriend, when they're holding hands, an A-Train runs through.
Killed him immediately almost, yeah.
That's
like,
what I can see from this shot.
Oh,
where...
100%. I could see most of the companions and stuff we get introduced. I wouldn't be surprised if they got killed off, like 2 episodes in or whatever.
Yeah, some of them definitely will. But just with what you were saying with this, where he's like marveling at these like fantastic looking armored soldiers, and he's just like, we're going to be okay. And then it's like, bah!
Yeah, they just weren't prepared.
Yeah. It's going to be fucking great.
So I reckon they're getting torn apart. And then, this I also didn't expect to see. A Yao Guai.
A very well done one as well.
Also, right, it's kind of great.
Well,
like, it looks as scary as a fucking Yao Guai is when I come up to him in a game. I'm just like, I don't want to deal with that.
This is why I love this trailer, and I'm glad we did leave it till after Kong, where Kong, we were pausing on the creatures, particularly some of the ones that didn't look as good. And while it's paused, it looks even worse because it's not moving. These look fucking great in motion and in stills.
Yeah.
And it's baffling why Todd Howard can't make them look this good in the games. But...
because the game wouldn't be 300 hours worth of content then. It'd be one fight with the Yao Guai and then that'll be it, credits.
I also want to point out, I'm very aware that Todd Howard didn't single-handedly make Fallout Skyrim.
Yes, he did. He's come out in multiple interviews and said he did.
I only made the ones that people like.
Whichever one your favourite is, that's the one I made.
That's the one I made. But yeah, it looks great. Like the interaction with the guy in the suit and that. It just looks so good.
So gross. But this is, again, another thing that speaks to, like, you know, there's an initial attack. They all get shot down. Like, they lose 2 or 3 of their knights. Then they take the scribe into the forest. Like, shit, we got to get out of here. And then another one gets jumped by this. And, like, he's just like, oh, I wasn't prepared for any of this. Like, just he'd see him getting ripped out of his power armor by a giant mutant bear. Like, those things are fucking hard to kill in the game as well.
Yeah, but this is also, looking at the background, Dan, I think this is from where you've got him stood next to the Brotherhood guy, and we were saying this is the greenery and everything else. This looks to be that scene.
Probably, yeah. Like, that thing just jumps them from the forest or whatever. Like, they're still trying to get their bearings. And then this just goes, no, I'll have you while you're here.
I've got a feeling that from that still, I'll pull it up on there if I remember, but where it's just him and the one guy, maybe they were the only ones that survived.
But that's the thing, potentially, yeah. Then, like, all of the others were, like, shot, they were exploded, or they were just jumped, or they fell too far or whatever. And then they managed to get out. And then this bear, like, so he'll drag him off into the forest and he has to make a run for it. And whilst he's on the run, that's when he kind of bumps into our protagonist, yeah.
God, it's like we fucking wrote it, done.
Right, go back.
Who was that?
I don't remember that at all. Someone just absolutely scarpering. But even that just looks like what a Fallout game. There's just nothing, and then it's just a house. And with like a weird cabin built outside or whatever it is.
But I don't know who this. I don't recognise this person from the rest of the trailer.
No, but that's obviously like whatever the item is. It's a Garden of Eden creation kit, or it's a super thing that will save everyone, or it'll be a special thing anyway. And then an
iPod.
Probably going to get killed because I'm assuming that most people are going to get killed.
So what's this creature? I didn't recognise this creature.
No, it kind of looks like a Myler King-ish. But there's also something in Far Harbor called a Gulpin, which is like this sort of like salamander-esque kind of thing. But to me, I think this is potentially a new monster because it looks like an axolotl.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
With like the fins, like the fringe.
Yeah. Just the oh shit, I forgot what you said. Mylurk. They don't have this kind of face. They're like more like a crab, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a bit more shelled up, but there's like Mylurk hunters and there's Mylurk kings, which kind of look a little bit more like this than not like a normal crab. But with that big mouth, it looks more like an axolotl.
I assume that is an eye.
What, on the left, top left?
Out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you look at a picture of an axolotl, you've got the weird little kind of fin things coming out the sides, and his eyes
like
are
feathered
on the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a mutated axolotl.
I agree. I think that's probably what this is, because I don't recognise this. Like, just looking at it, just going, oh my god, it's a blah, blah, blah. I think this is potentially a new one, which I'm fine with. You know, there's no harm with putting your own new ones in.
It looks good.
It looks...
I also got, for Christmas, it's got a picture of an axolotl on a T-shirt, and it says, you ask a lot of questions.
But it's haunting, because it looks gross and it's a big scary monster, but then press play.
I'm going to go back because I think we miss it.
Oh, okay.
But are you going to say, like, where you see like the inside of its mouth?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. So we'll go forward so we get the full benefit of it.
So there's your bear. There he goes. There's flappy hands.
Blah, blah, blah,
it's
blah.
that.
Oh shit! It didn't pause. Sorry. Go back.
Pause. So those are fingers.
Oh my god, they are.
So there is something that's called, what's it called? It's like a centaur, I think, which is like this sort of like weird mutant crab thing. So it's got like a human head, like a big thick neck, and it's like got like 6 legs, but they're all like hands. And it's got like big tentacles. This giant, like, it's like a mutant mess of human flesh that's like turned into this awful creature. Potentially, it's something like that, because this looks like a monster from fucking the forest.
I don't think that's not. I think it's, again, the same as the Kong trailer, where you had I'm just kind of. I know it's not an orangutan, but you've got the orangutan guy, and he's just like, "Rah!" And then the camera changes to behind him, and he's looking over at the beach. They're obviously 2 different scenes.
Yeah,
and I think that's the same here. It doesn't look the same as the inside of that. I think that's that, but that's a different creature.
No, that is exactly the same creature.
Are you sure?
100%. Like, those are the same wiggly tentacle things. Like, look at the back of its throat. It's like that V.
I suppose, yeah.
It's exactly that. Yeah, definitely.
That's fucking grim, though.
How awful is that? So either it's like a weird axolotl mutant, or I think it's possibly like some sort of like centaur variant. So it's like, it's made of like human flesh, but those like fin feathery things on its head, they're 2 not weird mutant things. It's not like a weird amalgam of human skin or whatever.
Well, do you think it's like a Jurassic Park moment with the I forgot the name of the dinosaur, but when it's like it's all nice and happy, and then it turns.
Oh, the Dilophosaurus.
Yeah,
100%.
It's like one of those kind of moments. Where
it's like sort of like its feathery fin bits are like behind its head, and then it goes rah, and then it pops them out.
Yeah. Ugh. But again, looks pretty big.
What a good-looking little monster, though.
I mean, I wouldn't say good-looking, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like, it's awful and spiky. It's got like arms, like actual proper arms, almost.
Well, so I can say he's got like proper like definition in his arms.
But like, it's clearly like just this is they're by the water, and then this thing just jumps them.
Yeah.
Because like there's a building like underwater just to its right. So
you can see the water to the right and behind it as well.
Yeah,
it's clearly wet.
This is just like jumping out to grab you, and then
it'll
scuttle back into the water or whatever.
Blech.
So here we go. I love this shot as well. There's just a woman with it looks like a Sten gun, which isn't a typically Fallout gun, I don't believe. But she's got a fork stuck in her eye, which again sort of speaks to the fact that everyone's gone ballistic in this thing, and they just decided to all just kill each other as much as they can.
It's a bad shot.
Actually, no, that could be a pipe revolver. Not a pipe revolver, a pipe rifle, I think it is. Because like, I think that's got like a side-loading magazine, possibly.
It's an odd-shaped gun. Give it that much.
Well, a Bren gun has got like the magazine that goes in the side like that, because it doubles up as a handle. Exactly like that, basically. There's a submachine gun as well, like a P something or other.
Well, let's go back a bit, play it, see how quickly the bullets are coming out. So it's in bursts.
She's holding that down, so that's just going bang, 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 bang. Yeah.
But it looks more like a burst, so rather than just constant like.
Yeah.
Fucking thought. But again, look at her Pit Boy, no screen.
Well, just let it play.
Go back again.
Yeah,
Oh no, it does play.
Yeah, there's a green tint to it. See there.
Yeah.
So it could just be light reflection. I don't know.
I mean, it could be broken. It's going.
Yeah, but this is clearly like in that same vault. The corn is everywhere.
Yeah, everything's growing. You got a nice looking background. She's relatively clean except for the blood.
Yeah, where they presumably she's slit the throat of someone else. I reckon this is going to be like a big fucking like Kingsman church fight thing. There's just going to be a huge extended sequence with all these people slaughtering each other.
I mean, to be that again, is that coming off the gun? That smoke?
Yeah.
Or do you reckon that's the gas?
No, it's.
Oh no, it is off. It is off the gun. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Pridwin. Right, how angry does that horse look? Bloody hell!
I mean, got 2 people sat on him.
Well, a person and a half. Look at him, it's like, God's sake!
You told me it was going to be on my left side, Derek. Let's get Goggins on.
So, okay, that building in the background, like the big disc thing on top, I don't know if that's a real build, like an actual building.
Probably not.
But you mentioned something yesterday with thinking that the sort of cowboy fray jacket thing that he's wearing is like some sort of like alternate vault suit.
Yeah.
Nah.
I think
because she's wearing the same thing. I think they've gone on a day out, like he's a rancher or something like that. Yeah, she absolutely is. There you go.
Oh, kind of, yeah. Like my logic being, hey, this is clearly in the past.
Yeah.
This is Mr.
This
Goggins.
is the war. Yeah.
The war's happening as they get on. You can see the buildings are crumbling and.
Well, that's a mushroom cloud behind him.
That's what I mean. You got the big mushroom cloud and everything else. But my logic being, so you got the police. Bear with me with this, Dan.
Okay, go on.
The police generally, most places have a very similar uniform. Like whether that's in England, whether it's in America, you can tell a police officer.
Well, usually it says police on them, but sure.
That as well. But you know what I mean? It's the same kind of setup. But in Canada, they've also have Mounties.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was kind of thinking here, wherever this is, their Vault uniform is a little bit different to like kind of fit more in wherever they live. So if it is more of like your cowboys and generally that kind of aesthetic, they've incorporated that into the uniform.
No,
but
I think he's a rancher or something like that. I think that, or they've gone on a day out, which is why they got matching outfits.
What if, Dan? You know, you've got all your stuff in the vaults. You got your seeds and everything.
Also,
else.
you never see a vault suit outside of a vault.
No. But what I'm thinking is your ranchers and stuff. They're the people like the seeds and that have got to come from somewhere, aren't they?
Well,
so
they're
they provide
secured.
a service to the vaults.
No, I reckon he's just been caught up in it.
It's most likely he's just a farmer.
Yeah, but
cowboy rather.
But he's not at a farm because obviously he's in the middle of a city that's getting nuked.
No, but he's got a horse and that. And
but why would he have a horse in the middle of the city?
He's dropping some stuff off.
On a horse?
I don't know. We don't know how long ago it was. Could have been horse and cart. Unlikely. You got massive. You got
It's
huge
a
buildings.
nuclear explosion going on behind him, and you think they're driving around on horse and buggy. What are you on about?
I'm just trying to figure out what his deal is before he gets turned into a ghoul.
No, he could have been working at like one of those old timey farm. You know, not a farm. Like those little villages where they're like it's a frontiers.
Kind of, but like if you look at the buildings, like they didn't have these kind of buildings back then, did they?
No, they've got them in America now. It's like a pioneer village. It's where you go and they're all dressed up and act like it's the Old West.
Yeah, I got you.
So it could just be a case of he just works at one of those.
Yeah.
Or they're visiting one of those and that's why they gone to the gift shop and got the cowboy outfit.
Yeah. Because is it the same hat?
No, I think it's a black one he's got in the...
I honestly can't remember.
When he's
we'll
gold,
we'll have to go back and have another look.
Either way, there they are. So they're riding away. Everything is getting nuked to fuck.
That's definitely Los Angeles, isn't it?
I don't know. That's a very big city.
You got but these look like... I know, again, it's not, but looking at GTA, you have like the...
Oh, yeah, sorry. That observatory that I mentioned before, that's the building on the left there.
Mm.
So with the big dome thing on top.
This road here on the right looks like Vinewood Hills.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So if you... I think this pans in a little bit more if you just want to play it. So on the very left-hand side, there's a building that's on top of the hill. It's got a dome on the roof.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure that's the observatory. Griffiths Observatory, maybe?
Potentially.
Play it. See there, it's just coming into the centre of the shot now. This is some great looking nukes as well.
Looks very good. Very realistic. I think they actually blew it up for real.
Yeah, definitely.
No CGI here. I don't think we get anything at the end of it.
No, I don't think so. I think that's...
What I'm going to do is go back to our ghoul fella. Can't remember where it was on the trailer.
Just after she meets the dude.
It's after...
Yeah, it's after all this. She meets the dude.
I don't think it is a black hat. Can't believe they changed that 2-day shipping to fast shipping.
Probably because they had 500 complaints.
I thought it was before this.
No, it's after this. Yeah, so here's everyone.
Yeah, it's where they're going all mental.
Yeah, so here she's coming into the town, and then it's here now. There he is.
Yeah, it's not the same hat, but it's...
I mean, it could be the same hat after 30 years of grime and dirt, maybe.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter anyway. His hat is... of all the things we've seen in this, his hat is not important.
No, definitely not.
I want to know who this is in their pants.
Todd Howard.
Because it could be... The dude is running through the desert with the box. It looks like he could be running towards this as a house, maybe.
Is that part of the fence, or is that his knob?
No, it's like a broken fence.
it's just a very odd...
It's probably Seth Rogen. He usually likes to be in these sort of things, getting his arse out.
That's a good point, actually. This could be one of the first big Amazon productions that he hasn't been involved in.
Well, as far as we know.
Yeah, he might do. I don't know.
Mm.
Looks great, though, doesn't it?
I've just noticed as well, that Fallout, the poster, looks like a skull.
Got the one on the left-hand side. Oh, yeah. I think that's just... I don't think that's anything. But yeah, it does, definitely does, where the fence is for like the teeth.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, yeah. I couldn't be more excited for this, Callum. It could be middling. I don't think that it can be, though. I think this is either going to be really, really good, or it's going to be a real shame and an absolute disappointment because it's just not going to be able to hold up for how good it looks. I
think, like, genuinely, because we spent many, many podcasts just complaining that there's not even been anything released. Not a picture, not a trailer.
I want a new Fallout game. I want something.
Yeah. But there's a reason why they didn't release anything for a long time. And there's no reason to believe that isn't because they wanted to make sure it was perfect.
Probably. Because, I mean, if you half-arse this and it looks shit, people are going to be like, oh, God, it all looks like it's on a soundstage. This looks like it's enormous. Like, it feels like it's part of a huge world. Exactly. I mean, it's all desolate, obviously, but
it should
maybe to their benefit. It's like, oh, thank God we don't have to create 500 cities or whatever to have people wandering around in. Like whenever they make like a big sci-fi show and they go, God, we've got to build like a planet. What does the architecture on the planet look like? Everything needs to look like that. All the power. This, you go, everything's desert and everything's broken. And they go, perfect. We can knock that up in an afternoon.
That's a Bethesda special.
Yeah. Do you want people to just walk through walls? Do you reckon we'll have some actual glitches?
I reckon there'll be at least one in there.
Something just like a person just stuck in a wall or something like that. Yeah. I'd be very... If this is sort of like we love the games, we love the worlds that we've made, and we want to kind of, they are sort of silly and funny and horrific and awful. If they kind of really lean into that and they have like a joke where they're taking a pop at themselves because it's not really working properly, or there's an alien ship comes in and then another one from Starfield comes in and blows it up. You'd be like, what the fuck?
You'll get a glitch at the most.
I think like just someone stuck in a wall or something like that.
Yeah.
And they could go, oh, it's mutant radiation or whatever, but it's like, no, we know why you've done it. We get it.
The players know what it is.
Yeah, we get it. We've played it. We've seen that person stuck and glitch out, or a dog with a 6-foot neck or something like that.
We've all seen them. Like they chuck something on the table and it clips through and just like
it just vibrates. Yeah. But I couldn't be more excited for this. I thought it would just be a bit gimmicky, or they'd just been forced into do it. But it just from the vibe, if anything, I'm just getting from this, it feels like they've really put time and effort into it. Like one of the biggest things that I loved about Loki, especially the second season of Loki, is like it was all the set and prop design. It seems that they'd really zeroed in on kind of like this sort of like really junky, steampunky kind of, odd tech, and like everything's way too big, and it's not all like nanotech or whatever. Everything's clunky, and I love that. And it feels like this is they've gone. We've got 1 million billion pictures of like a thing. Okay, well, we need a plug. Well, this is what the plugs look like in this universe because we've already made them. We made them 20 years ago. We already know what they look like. Like there's just so much reference material that they can pull from. I think that there will be a lot of this. I'll probably be blinded by like how good it maybe actually is, because I'll be so blinded by like, I recognise that. Oh my god, I've got one of those. Oh, I built like mine to do that as well. Like there'll be so much of like a power core that looks exactly like a power core, and someone hasn't really said anything of any worth for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I'll be buzzing over the fact that the power core looks exactly right. Like, if anything, that's where I'm gonna get blinded by it, because if the attention to detail is there, I can forgive a lot.
Because of everything's junk. I mean, I'm not saying we could do it, but I imagine it's relatively easy to make something that looks very, very visually similar, at least, to an item in the game. But where they're going to struggle, and not struggle, but where I think it's going to be more noticeable, is when we're in the vault before she leaves and everything's pristine and it looks fantastic. It's still got to look realistic. So far, what we've seen looks very, very good.
I'm not looking at this and going, did they even play the game? I'm looking at this and I'm going, this is as good a representation as you're probably going to get.
Have they stopped playing a game?
Yeah, it looks like they've... Because like every asset that they've got, every picture, every 3D model of a thing, there's your colour scheme, there's your schematic, like your size, that all your reference material already exists. And if they've been working really closely with them, all they have to say is, oh, we need this to do, what does this need to look like? And they go, here's exactly what it looks like as a 3D model. Just make that.
You reckon they'll do VATs?
That is the only thing that I wanted to ask you about, because that is purely a gameplay mechanic.
It is, and like Todd Howard had openly said way back when, VATs was only a thing because of limitations. Yeah.
And also with the like Fallout 1, Fallout 2 being like almost turn-based. It was a way of stopping and targeting specific things to have specific impact, like so you could cripple someone so they can't aim as well, or they can't run, or you hit them in the head for a critical shot, but it's less likely to hit. All of those kind of like D&D kind of statistics that all kind of get factored into it.
Yeah.
So if it just wasn't in this at all, I'd be okay with that, rather than they half-arse it, or it just doesn't really make any sense.
I reckon if they're going to put it in, it'll be on the... You get the Vault Boy videos for like the goat exam and stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be something like that. So maybe there's like some kind of like artillery training video, and it's like when you're aiming at a
I reckon
enemy,
they could just reuse those, like
they
all
could,
the, like,
but
the
I mean,
special trailer things that they got. S is for strength, and this is what strength means. Like you could put that at the start of every episode if you wanted to.
You could have all of that in, but I mean, like that's how you get your VATS in, where they'll go targeting an enemy here, and then it will show you like a glorified VATS screen where it's like 100% damage, like if you shoot him in the head, or if you shoot him in the leg, if you shoot him in the arm, shoot him in the chest, whatever.
Yeah.
I'd
totally be okay if that was the case. It was just like an explanation of like how they think tactically, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's a way I think you could do it that I wouldn't be particularly happy about. But when you're in the power armor, if that was like a heads-up display thing.
Yeah, I guess, but it's falling on that Doom territory of.
That's exactly my point. That's why I'd rather they either just don't do it, or it's kind of like a hand wavy. We're not really going to do that because it's a good for a game, but it doesn't work for this.
No.
Or the only other way I can see it happening is if she takes like a hit of jet or something like that, like takes one of the drugs that slows time down, and then
maybe
she could do that because you get like 30 seconds of like slow mo basically, and then she can use that to like specifically target, or she sees the world differently, and like she can put one through their knee, then one through their elbow, then one through their eye, then one through their balls. Like, but it all happens. It's like Dread, like that sort of slow-mo kind of like thing. If anything, I would honestly rather that they just don't do it because I don't think
they will.
I don't need this to have it for me to go, oh, and now it's Fallout. Honestly, I barely use VATS.
I like to use it mainly because it's like visually satisfying to see those shots. Mainly because you don't really get it like in Sniper Elite when you get a good shot and you get
that I get. Yeah, but honestly, the only reason I seem to use it,
while I'm watching a show.
No. But the only reason I kind of tend to do it at the moment is because I've put a lot of points into the mysterious stranger. So whenever you go into VATS, there's a chance that he will just show up and just one shot whoever it is that you're fighting. Do you think we'd get a mysterious? Because that's an established thing through every single game.
Maybe
there is a mysterious stranger.
Got a hat on.
I mean, he has got a hat on.
Maybe he's somebody has rolled the dice where he should be showing up, and he's like, "Fuck!" He was at the toilet. And
he's just thrown his pants and his big trench coat on. He's running out. Yeah. But like, so that's not like a ridiculous thing. Like people who have played any Fallout game will know the mysterious stranger. Like, do you think that is something that would show up in this? That would just be some random person out of the shadows. There'd be a revolver, bang, their head explodes, and then they're just gone.
I think that's more possible than VATS.
I would rather it.
I'm not against it at all. I'd like it to be not necessarily a one and done thing, but I don't want it overplayed.
No, otherwise he just pops in every fight like a fucking Megazord. Just to. But like, if that'd be how good would that be though? Like, she meets up with that guy in the forest, and that Yao Guai's eating his Brotherhood of Steel, and he's coming after him.
Yeah.
And she's just shooting away, and it's just pinging off him. And then just some guy in a trench coat just shows up and just blows its head off, and then just leaves. And they're like, "Wait, what the fuck just happened then?"
Who was that mysterious stranger?
I'd be like, well done. Like, you absolutely. It's stupid enough to be exactly what a fight in Fallout could be like. You could be up against a Deathclaw. Also, no hint of a Deathclaw or super mutants in this trailer. Kind of glad on that to a degree because it means maybe they're not focusing on them.
But again, dependent on, we don't know where it's set after the war. Obviously, her time theoretically should be some time after because Gargans is a ghoul now. So it's got to be a obviously period of time. Maybe there isn't any Deathclaws in this.
No, they've always been around.
Oh no, I mean where they are, like
maybe, but again, it's one of those things that Deathclaws are in every game. And like these are like some of them are like one coast of the country and the other one's on the other coast of the country. If they're in both, odds are they're everywhere.
Oh no, they're definitely going to be around, but I mean, it's going to be like probably won't see, might see a super mutant or two, but I don't think we'll see a Deathclaw till like the last episode.
Yeah, it'll be a final boss kind of thing. Will be a Deathclaw, 100%. But like maybe this could be because like the super mutants are created after the war, I think. Like with the FEV, so potentially this could be again. It very much depends on when this is set as well as where. But maybe we haven't seen a super mutant. Maybe because there aren't any super mutants yet because they haven't physically started creating them. So we could see some like that fucking briefcase that guy's running off through the desert with. That could be the first FEV virus. It could be anything. Any of this could be anything. Like that's the beauty of it, I guess.
As with a lot of stuff, I've got a feeling that we'll see a super mutant and we'll see a Deathclaw because this might be the one and only season they get.
Well, don't the Brotherhood, don't they fucking hate super mutants?
I mean, everyone hates super mutants.
No, but I think that they're like their whole deal is that they hate they want to claim all the technology for themselves, basically.
Yeah.
And I think they've got like a real hatred. I'll just Google that because I can't quite remember, but I know that they've got like some. It's like monsters or something like that they just can't stand.
I think it is super mutants, but I think it's a case of like when you look at a Brotherhood of Steel, like when they're all armored up, and you look at a super mutant, they're both visually very imposing characters. And I think it's just a case of you're a big brute, I'm a big brute, I don't like you. But I don't know the ins and outs of the rivalry of it.
Mariposa. Well, Mariposa is where the FEV thing came into play. I might be wrong on that, but I'm fairly sure that they have a massive beef with them.
Do you reckon that's a mysterious stranger moment? Like, because of how high up he's got his line in his shot, he does miss, and then it's a mysterious stranger that shoots him.
The most mysterious stranger.
Yeah. It looks so good. We're going to wrap it up there, though, Dan, because we've gone well over our allocated time.
Yeah.
But
either way, I just think that like if you're going to get super mutants, if those Brotherhood of Steel, if they're going to like take out a super mutant encampment or something like that, and because like the super mutants have generally got fat boys and rocket launchers and like heavy weapons and stuff, so it wouldn't surprise me if they were going there to obliterate all these super mutants and they just got fucking battered.
Yeah, makes sense because again, like your bog standard pistols aren't going to get through the power armor. I personally think I don't want them to force them into it's got to be like organic, but on the off chance that this isn't very good and we don't get another one, they'd be silly not to put your fan favorite creatures in it. So at least one Deathclaw, at least a handful of super mutants, slap a Mirelurk in there, that kind of thing. The fact that we've got, again, we don't know what it's called, but we've got dog meat. It seems silly not to, just on the chance that we don't get another one and we never get to see what it would look like. And they've clearly put a lot of effort and attention into making it look as good as it physically can look, and partly down to the fact that they've got Amazon money behind them, that's possible.
But even just this shot that you've paused on, look at the mess of this place. Like there's boards all over the floor. There's just shit everywhere. There's like heads on spikes in the back, which I think are like mannequin heads, or potentially just
could be like training dummy things, but they're definitely not real heads. They're definitely mannequins.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I've seen that 100%. Just just heads on spikes, just like mannequins set up everywhere and stuff. Like it looks like a junk piles. All of that. Whilst I imagine some of it isn't, it all looks real.
Well, even like that, where they've made the path out of the sheets of wood and cardboard and whatnot. The only thing this has got going against it versus the game is the game wishes it looked this good.
If it did, my lord.
Yeah, it looks phenomenal. I'm looking forward to Godzilla Cross Kong, but this looks so much better.
I've got a lot riding on this.
Yeah.
Personally, just I'll know within like the first couple of minutes of the first episode or so. I'll be like, oh, I don't like what they're doing with this already. Like, you can dress it up as much as you want to, but it just doesn't feel right. But so far as the trailer is pushing, or the way that it's showing itself, it looks like it's got money behind it. It looks like it's got good people behind it. And I don't have any... Like, it looks big and it looks horrible. It's like horrible monsters and like just murderers and cannibal gangs. But it looks... There's a woman shooting a machine gun with a fork in her eye. It looks silly. Like, it looks... It feels very much like it's on point.
It looks ridiculous in all the right ways.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Which, in the same way, Godzilla does as well. It looks ridiculous in the right way.
It does, but you give it different merits. Like we've said before, we want a monster film to watch monsters just batter the shit out of each other. That's all we want. Whereas this, it's still got to have a bit of meat to it, and it needs a good... The very different shows and games, but this is going against The Last of Us, and it's got to capture that post-apocalyptic end of the world malarkey, and I think it can, and I think it can go one better because of that comedy element to it. But you don't want it to be wall-to-wall laughs. You've got to have that bit of serious shit in there and gross out moments and...
Yeah, Last of Us, that didn't really... I mean, again, it's a very serious, very dramatized kind of game anyway. There's no jokes or anything in it. There's a bit of humanity that might show through, or a bit of emotion, but it's not... It's not silly for the sake of it. No. Whereas Fallout is. There's a vault full of clones of someone called Gary.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that other than it's Fallout. Oh, mate, I'm so excited. It's crazy.
Sometimes it works, though, and again, it's not Fallout related, but in Jedi Survivor, you go against like Alan the technician or whatever it is.
It's like Rick or something like that.
Yeah,
like
Rick, that's his name.
Rick the technician, yeah.
It's like one shot is dead. But it just comes out of nowhere. It takes you by surprise, and when it's been quite a somber experience up to that point, it's just like, hey, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I assume that's what we're going to get with this, where, again, you've got a dog, he's just enjoying it. He's got a severed hand that he's munching on. You've got... There's just so many moments in this where it should be like gripping and suspenseful.
I see there's like the potential for like, with her sort of like coming out of the vault, and she's gonna go past like a raider mass grave where they like ransacked a town or something like that, and they've killed everyone and they've skinned them and they put their body parts up. And, like, it's just a big mass grave. It's full of kids and whatever. And she's just like, oh, my God, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And she's with someone like Ghoul. And he has just a piss next to it or whatever. Because it's just like this is just what the world's like now. Yeah. It's like, you should be, everyone should be horrified. But it's just like, well, fucking hell, I've seen worse things yesterday.
The thing is, that is true, though. Like, if you're in it all the time, day in, day out.
Yeah, you become completely desensitized to it.
Yeah. That's why it's hilarious.
Right? It's so good, man. I love Fallout.
we could talk about this all night, but
I genuinely could.
But if you do want to see more stuff, you can go to podcastversusplay.com. It's all going along the bottom of the screen. But I think we'll do more of these trailer chats.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice little easy format. And that's all we're going to say. And we're going to go, Dan.
Indeedy.
Goodbye.